Hi everybody, EJ here with part 5 of my top 100 plus favorite films list. This will be 71 to 80. So counting down, we have number 80, Ben-Hur, directed by William Wyler, 1959. Classic, the one best picture, just epic, great film starring Charlton Heston. I love historical epics, this type of movie making that was popular in the 50s and 60s. This, along with films like Spartacus and Lawrence of Arabia, just great. I love movies on a grand scale like this. And the chariot racing scene is still one of the most exciting ever shot. Okay, number 79 is Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, Ang Lee's film from 2000, starring Chow Yun-fat, Michelle Yeoh, and Zhang Ji. One of the best martial arts films of the past decade, or any decade. This film really blew me away when I first saw it. I hadn't seen anything like it, and even though it's kind of produced a lot of copycats since, this is a beautiful, sweeping, romantic film that I just adore. 88 is Scarface, of course, Brian De Palma classic from 1983, starring Al Pacino and Michelle Pfeiffer. One of the great stories, bios of a gangster ever. It's kind of become a cliche that everybody on Cribs, MTV's Cribs, used to always show this movie. They always had this movie. Some rapper always had a big Scarface deal going on, but it's a great movie. It's kind of dated now, but still a great film. Okay, 87 is LA Confidential, directed by Curtis Hanson. Great old school film noir throwback to Los Angeles of the 40s and 50s. Great cast: Kevin Spacey, Russell Crowe, Guy Pearce, Kim Basinger, Danny DeVito. Just a great film. One of the best films of the 90s, and this is a really nice addition to this special edition. Okay, 86 is John Carpenter's Halloween from 1978. I already talked about this in my horror list, my second favorite horror movie. Great slasher with Jamie Lee Curtis and Donald Pleasance. Next is 85, Midnight Cowboy from 1969. At the time, it was the first and only movie, I think, to be an X-rated picture, to win Best Picture. Of course, the ratings have changed. This would be an R rating now, but at the time it was rated X. Directed by John Schlesinger, Dustin Hoffman, John Voight. Awesome. Just a great movie. Of course, it's been many scenes have been copied, especially the walking down the street, and Dustin Hoffman almost gets run over by a taxi cab, and he bangs on the hood. "I'm walking here. I'm walking here." Just a great film. Two great characters. Okay, 84 is Road to Perdition. Great film from 2002, directed by Sam Mendes. He's done some great movies since American Beauty, including that one. But this great gangster film set in Chicago about a hitman played by Tom Hanks, who goes on the run with his son. It's a great father and son story as well. After the rest of his family is killed, after their young boy witnesses a murder, while he witnesses what his father does for a living. Paul Newman is great as the boss, and Jude Law is amazing in this film as the hired gun who goes after Tom Hanks. A beautiful film. The cinematography by what's his name? So it's not Roger Deakins, is it? trying to remember who the Conrad Hall, that's right. One of the most beautiful looking films of the past decade. Great movie. Okay, speaking of great looking films, Dances with Wolves from 1990, directed and starring Kevin Costner, of course. Like I said earlier, this is just a magnificent film. Kevin Costner gets a lot of hate, but in the late 80s and early 90s, he made some of the greatest films of that era. And this one is no exception. It's just so brilliant. It's long, which I don't mind. I can watch 4-hour movies, no problem. Great film about the Western frontier following the Civil War. And he plays a Lieutenant John Dunbar who's at this outpost all by himself until he meets up with the Sioux Indian tribe. The buffalo hunt is amazing, and if this is on Blu-ray, which I'm sure it is, it probably looks amazing. But like I said, I watched it again this past year and still magnificent. Okay, 82 is Full Metal Jacket. I wish I had a better DVD edition of this. They released a bunch of 2-disc special editions of all his other great films except this one. 1987 Stanley Kubrick classic. Half a military boot camp movie and half a Vietnam War movie, and the first half of the film is my favorite half, but the second half is just as good. But Arlie Ermy is so memorable as the drill instructor. Great cast, obviously Vincent D'Onofrio, Matthew Modine, Adam Baldwin. One of the great there's like 4 or 5 really classic great Vietnam War movies, and I love all of them. And this is definitely in there, along with Apocalypse Now, Platoon, The Deer Hunter. This is one of those standouts. And finally, 81, The Maltese Falcon from 1941, great film noir starring Humphrey Bogart and Mary Astor, directed by John Huston. One of the great films of the 40s, and one of Humphrey Bogart's best performances. So that is it for this part, and I'll sign off. Let Elton John carry you out, and until part 6, I'll see you. Thanks for watching.